the player, very talented brother. We will see. And we will see also what happens with Viktor Gyökeres, guys, because today in this saga we have to register the new words of the president of Sporting, Federico Varandas, who basically says the player doesn't want to show up to training, but this is going to make his life even more difficult when it's about leaving Sporting. This is what he says. He also insists on paying the transfer fee they want, otherwise they're prepared to keep the player because he has a contract for the next years. So very strong message coming from the president, a very tense situation between all parties involved in the Gyökeres story. What I can tell to Arsenal fans tonight, many of you asking me what's going on with Gyökeres, is that Gyökeres always had this plan not to show up to training, so this is not something that Sporting understood today. They already knew days ago, more than 1 week ago, from Gyökeres directly to the president. He said, I'm not coming for training, I only want to go to Arsenal. And Gyökeres maintains his position. But why this position is so tense? Because Gyökeres feels betrayed. Gyökeres feels that there was a pact for the player to leave for 60 million euros plus 10 million euros in add-ons. He doesn't feel that that pact is being respected. Arsenal offered 65 and not 60, so even more than what was expected, and Sporting didn't accept because they want more than 65 fixed. They want at least 70. So this is the point. There is still a tense situation, but Arsenal keep working on the deal. All parties want to win their own war in this story, but for sure, Viktor Gyökeres maintains his point. He wants to go to Arsenal. He has an agreement with Arsenal on 5-year contract. And so he's not planning to stay at Sporting this summer or for the next 3 years. This is the position of Gyökeres. Sporting maintain their position in public and in private, but Arsenal, behind the scenes, keep working on the Gyökeres deal. So now, guys, you understand that the situation is quite tense, but Arsenal are still working on it. So deal on for Gyökeres between a complicated, tense situation between all parties involved in the story. Some positive news also for Arsenal coming from Ethan Nwaneri, because Chelsea, during the discussions between Arsenal and Chelsea, Ronny Madueke basically told Arsenal that they were interested in Ethan Nwaneri and prepared to make a bid if Arsenal were not able to agree a new contract with the player, to avoid also losing him on a free, maybe for next summer, to present a bid now. That was the intention of Chelsea. For Arsenal, that was a no. Arsenal never had the intention to let Nwaneri go. Basically, the conversation was already very advanced with Nwaneri. Then, from the players' camp, they wanted some clarity about the game time, the project, the vision from Arsenal. Arsenal had new contacts in the last 48 hours with the camp of Ethan Nwaneri. When I say camp, is agents but also family, to present the idea of Mikel Arteta, the trust from the club, the trust from the staff in Ethan Nwaneri and this development. And so Arsenal are making progress. They hope to get the green light soon from Nwaneri and to extend his contract as soon as possible, to get this deal signed as soon as possible. So Arsenal are now optimistic after some difficult moments in the negotiation that was never collapsed. Chelsea tried to enter into the story, but Arsenal maintained their control, maintained their optimism, and made progress in talks with Ethan Nwaneri to extend his contract. So Arsenal are absolutely on.
And to top off the latest updates, we have some great news for the Gooners. Perry Groves has revealed information from his sources about Viktor Gyökeres, and Arsenal fans are going to love what he had to say. Viktor Gyökeres is Arsenal's top striker target this summer. The Gunners initially preferred to sign Benjamin Sesko from RB Leipzig, but the German club's demands proved to be a bit too much. TBR Football exclusively revealed that Gyökeres is hoping to travel to London in the coming days and sign for Arsenal. Now, another detail about the Sweden international striker has emerged, and Arsenal fans will love it. Viktor Gyökeres was an Arsenal fan as a kid. Viktor Gyökeres has been desperate to join Arsenal this summer. The Swede has been one of the best goal scorers on the planet over the last 2 years, and he is of interest to a few other clubs. However, Gyökeres has turned down advances from Manchester United because he only wants to join Arsenal in this transfer window. The reason behind his decision may have just come out. Former Arsenal attacker Perry Groves has been speaking to his sources about Gyökeres recently, and he has been told that the striker was a gooner as a kid. He said on TalkSport, "My sources tell me," And I'm not making this up. Gyökeres was a Gooner as a little kid. He's always supported Arsenal, and it's been well documented that he wants to come to us. That's the most frustrating one because there will be a massive sigh of relief from our part of North London. We get a center forward in, then that squad is looking unbelievably strong. It's always great to have players who grew up supporting the club play for your team. It's way more than just a job for them, and they will know exactly what it means to wear the badge and represent the club. Arsenal's academy graduates, Bukayo Saka, Rice Nelson, Miles Lewis-Skelly, and Ethan Nwaneri all grew up supporting the Gunners. William Saliba and Jurrien Timber also liked Arsenal when they were growing up, while Mikel Merino owned a Gunners kit as a kid as well. Now, Gyökeres has the chance to join the above players and play for the club they love. After securing Noni Madueke, Arsenal is now ready to make an offer for the £68 million rated star. Arsenal will soon hope to add Chelsea forward Noni Madueke to their pre-season training camp in Spain. Depending on when Noni Madueke becomes an Arsenal player, he might head to La Manga to join Mikel Arteta's side before their pre-season tour of Asia. Of course, that would represent a pretty quick turnaround for the 23-year-old, given he's just spent the whole summer at the Club World Cup with Chelsea. And whilst Arteta will be keen for all new signings to come on tour, it'll be interesting to see how Arsenal plan to manage Noni Madueke's condition. Madueke will be a significant signing for Arsenal, a player who won't arrive cheaply, but the Gunners' business certainly won't stop there. Arsenal ready to open negotiations with Crystal Palace over Eberechi easy. In addition to signing Madueke and a new striker, Arsenal are seriously interested in Crystal Palace star Eberechi Eze. Arsenal are pushing to sign Victor Gyökeres from Sporting CP right now, but any move for the striker or Madueke won't affect a deal for Eze. Arteta wants to sign AZ to operate on the left wing and also across other attacking positions, a superbly versatile talent, and according to The Guardian, Arsenal are now ready to open negotiations with Palace over Eze, who they are yet to submit a formal offer for. The England international has a £68 million release clause this summer, and Palace were willing to accept installments for Eze when discussing a deal with Tottenham Hotspur earlier this summer. Spurs were also interested in Eze, but Arsenal's rivals have ultimately opted to sign Mohamed Kudus from West Ham United, as well as chasing the signature of Nottingham Forest's Morgan Gibbs-White. Speaking almost a year ago in June 2024, Bukayo Saka was asked who he had been most impressed by in England, training whilst away with his country, and without much hesitation, Saka named Eze, saying he had been class behind the scenes. Speaking at a press conference, Saka said, "In training, I would say probably Ebbs, you know, Ebre Eze. He has been class in training. He has impressed me the most, I would say." Saka has now played 7 times with Eze for England, including 2 games at the Euros in 2024. The pair recently started England's 3-1 friendly defeat against Senegal, the first real blip under Thomas Tuchel. But Arsenal fans would surely be delighted if both Eze and Saka were lining up in the same starting 11 under Arteta in the months to come. And that wraps up today's biggest Arsenal news. If you enjoyed the update and want to stay on top of everything happening with the Gunners, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Come on, Arsenal!